Hi, this is Aditya and welcome to my channel. Before I started learning AEM, I'm not from the web development background and I had multiple questions as to what is this AEM and how can I learn it. So now I think I have got a fair amount of understanding on what is Adobe Experience Manager. So I thought I would make this video series to help the new developers understand what is this AEM. If you like these videos, please hit on that like button and please subscribe to my channel. So let's get started with the presentation. Adobe Experience Manager, as its name suggests, is used to manage the experiences. But then our next question would be, what are these experiences which we are trying to manage? What is experience? Anything which we see, touch or feel is an experience for us, right? If you take an example of the content which is there in this particular rectangle, right? Here you have welcome. Here is the content which will most interest you. Read more. A user who is watching this particular content will have to focus more to understand what exactly is told here. When compared to this, if you see on this right side, right, it is the same content, welcome, and the same content, but it is represented in a nice graphical format so that it is easy to read. So the user who is reading this content compared to the user who is reading this content will have a better experience, right? That is the experience which we are talking about. So there are two parts to it. One is the content, the plain text, whatever we want to represent here, that is the content. So that we should be able to store. And apart from it, we should also be able to store how that content should be rendered, the experience part. So what is the content that needs to be displayed and how it has to be displayed. If we are able to define both in a tool, then that is called as Adobe Experience Manager. So Adobe Experience Manager is a content management solution, and apart from it, it is also an experience management solution. So since we have spoken about the content, what types of contents are we talking about here? It is not just the text content. It could be a JSON content, image, PDF, PPT, and wide range of content AEM has the capacity to store in itself. Okay, so these are about the contents. Then if we come to the experience part, let's try to see and understand what are the different types of experiences which we can manage as part of AEM. So the first type of experience is device specific experience. So if you see here on the right hand side, we have the image and its label being displayed in a nice card layout, one besides another, right? So this is called as cards layout. Okay, the same content when you come onto the mobile, it is displayed in a list format like this, one below another, right? And if you see, the image size also got drastically reduced. Okay, so the one thing is you need to be able to define what is the image size in the desktop versus what should be the image size in the mobile, and you should also be able to define how exactly the layout should get displayed. Should it be displayed as a cards or should it be displayed as a list? Okay, so all these things you will be able to manage in the AEM. How a particular layout or image or video or PDF should get displayed or should get rendered in different devices. So that is what you are able to manage using AEM, and this you can do it using AEM templates and components and also AEM digital asset management features. So this is one of the experience which you will be able to manage using AEM. And the second kind of experience is organization specific experience. Okay, let's try to understand a bit about this. Okay, let us suppose we have an organization which has the headquarters in India, and let us suppose this is a multinational organization. Okay, and it has various branches in other countries too, and not only in the country's capital, but it has the branches in various cities in other countries too. So if we have to maintain the websites for all these organizations, then how do we do it? Let us suppose this organization as a whole is supporting around 15 services. So if you take an example of this organization in city 1, it may not be providing all these 15 services which we mentioned for the organization as a whole, but it might be providing around 5 services, and city 2 in this organization we might be getting some 3 services. So if we have just one website for all these organizations in various cities, then if a user logs in and if he finds out what is the services this organization is supporting, then he finds the 15 services. Then he calls to the nearest organization in his city and he inquires about a particular service, and then they say that that service is not provided at this location. So this leaves a bad experience to the user, right? So this is the experience we are talking about. So we want to maintain each of these organizations' websites separately. So let us suppose our solution is to create individual website for all these organizations. Then also there is another problem. Let us suppose we have a page like About Us page, which would be common across all the organization in all the countries and all the cities. So let us suppose you just have a simple content change or image change in that About Us page. Then if you are maintaining all these sites as individual sites, then you will have to go manually into each of these websites and change the content in that About Us section, which would be very tedious, especially if you have more than 100 organizations, right? So how do we manage all this? So AEM provides a very good solution for all this using its multi-site management features. Then the other kind of experience we are talking about is the user specific experience. Let us suppose a particular user wants to read a particular content in his own language. Let us suppose in German language or French language, right? So how do they do it? So using AEM multi-site management functionality, we are able to also create the language copies. So let us suppose we have a page like About Us page, and we can choose that the English version of that About Us page would be the master, and from that master we'll be able to create multiple language copies also. And another feature which AEM provides is experience fragments. So let us suppose we are running an e-commerce site, and whenever a user logs in, based on whether he is a male or female, we want to show the respective clothing to them. Okay, so we want to personalize the content which they are seeing using their demographic, either their demographic or their age or their gender, right? If we have such a requirement, then we can define the experience fragments based on the personality or persona, and then we will be able to target relevant experience fragment based on the user data which is available in the context hub. So these are the experiences which we'll be able to manage using AEM, and more technical videos on this AEM will keep on coming. If you like these videos, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.